Hey, how are you? I hope everyone's all good on this sort of sunny but cloudy spring day. So it's much more spring-like temperatures now than the cold we had a couple of weeks, right up until a couple of weeks back, and then the searing heat we had earlier this week. There you are. A couple of things to rattle on about today. Yes, I'm being a selfie stick wanker again. And now that I've got a power bank for my phone after having lost my best wireless charger, I can now charge it out and about, because I have this thing which is probably linked to the TISM, where I won't leave the house unless the battery is 100% charged. I know it's a bit odd, but that's me. So everything's uploaded now with ADHD 360, who I'm going to through the NHS's right to choose route to be assessed for ADHD, funnily enough. I don't need to know about the TISM because I've been diagnosed with that. And just a couple of things to look out for that I wasn't aware until afterwards. Now, until you've let's go this way, completed what they call the onboarding process, then you wait for your assessment. You're going to get seen much quicker than if you just went on the NHS waiting list. However, the times vary quite dramatically even within your NHS region. There's things that they're known as ICB. I don't know what that actually stands for. It's not International Cricket Board, I know that. But the NHS regions are sort of divided into these subsets. If you move to a different area before you have been assessed, and if it's deemed that medication is something they're willing to try with you, and then you get to a point where I knew this would happen. My nose has not run all morning. I've tried a few trials of these at home, just on my laptop, and straight away the gremlins in the nose that got cauterized on 2 occasions to stop nosebleeds years ago just began to leak. Yeah, so if you move areas before you reach a point of what they class as you being stable, so they'll try you on different meds, different dosages to see which is the best fit for you. Once you're stable, if you move to another area, then you still need to be aware that the GP, wherever you're going to, if it's in a different ICB, are willing to accept shared care, because if they are not, your medication will stop, and the only option available to you then is to find someone who is, and then go down to the right to choose route again within that area. It's a bit of a ball ache. However, you're still going to get seen quicker. So the wait time for me now, until my initial assessment, the average wait is 58 weeks. There's other ICBs not too far from here, the wait time's more, up to 108 weeks, one I've seen, and some of them are less. So a bit frustrating, because when I initially googled this, it said the average time was 6 to 8 months, so it's not, it's over a year. But there we are. So just a couple of things to be aware of. If you decide that you want to pay privately with ADHD 360, I don't know about the others, you're looking at just under £2,000. So there's an initial upfront fee of 950 quid, and then 3 monthly payments of 349. If you want to be seen not in weeks, in days, then that is nearer £3,000. So you've still got the initial £950, and then 3 payments of £683. So the cost is quite prohibitive. It's also extremely important to remember, if you go down that route, that should you get diagnosed and should medication be an option, you have to pay for that. and that's anywhere from between £35 to £250 a month. It says on the website the average is £100 a month, so and you need you need to be aware of that. So you need to have a pretty good income and be secure in that you're going to be able to maintain purchasing that medication for forevermore. Otherwise you're going to run into trouble. So yeah, just a couple of things to be aware of. Now even if you move when you're on the NHS waiting list, as I found out last year, you lose your place. The fact that I waited 5.5 years in Devon didn't cut it up here. It's like, too bad, you've got to start the process again, which is a bit shit really, given that you don't necessarily have to have one like face-to-face meetings. A lot of it's done over Zoom and then phone calls. Surely the list could be national, but there we are. Successive governments have managed to make it pretty complicated. What else is there? I saw something this morning. I was just looking into again if there's any further movement on potentially changing post-traumatic stress, complex post-traumatic stress, and getting rid of the D altogether, either to a response, because they are known sets of normal responses, not very nice responses, granted, to abnormal situations, or post-traumatic stress injury, and that's because areas in your brain physically change, so they get altered. Your amygdala gets bigger, your hippocampus gets smaller, and it creates a little bit of chaos. It's not very nice to live with, but yeah, there's still things in the way of that. One of the reasonings from the people that come up with the stuff that goes in the DSM, we're on version 5 at the moment, that's an American publication. They're saying that part of that reason is that using the D word signifies what a serious condition it is. It's pretty fucking horrible to live with. And then there's other things about it would interrupt patient care and this, that and the other. Oh, changing a word really. The other thing that I completely disagree with is the fact that they're saying there's no supporting evidence that removing the D word to remove the stigma would encourage more people to come forward. One of the reasons, and I do say this from time to time, I think it's an important point, one of the reasons I didn't come forward when I first realised what I was experiencing and denied it in 2015 was I didn't want the stigma of a lifelong disorder, and that was kind of the push at the time. The narrative is like, once you've got it, you've got it. Or you can learn to live with it and learn to manage it. No. And one of the ways that I was able to beat it with a lot of help was viewing it not as a disorder. It doesn't change anything, but it just changes your sort of view of it. Well, if I don't view it as a disorder, then maybe I can beat it, which you can do with the right attitude. You have to put the work in. You need the right therapist and the right techniques. Mine was a multi-pronged approach. I did have 2 attempts. I had 1 bout of EMDR therapy, but ultimately 6 years after developing the honking condition, it was gone, and there we are. Other than that, yeah, busy week at work. I had a few hours overtime Friday. I had a phone call 10 to 6 in the morning, and that was good. So yeah, it's been a good week. It's been a tough week at work. So going from sort of -1, -2, -3 temperatures inside out into the warm is a bit of a shock to the system, but you get used to it. Anything else? Oh, I'm off to Plymouth again in a couple of weeks, but the event that I was going down to watch level 42 out. The whole event's been cancelled. I'm still going because I promised my youngest son I would see him, so I'm going to catch up with a few people down there again. And next weekend, one of those people has invited me along to the rugby game at Gloucester, which is about, I don't know, hour and a half on the train from where I am now. So that'll be good. And now that London Irish no longer exist, and basically there's no further movement, there's no noise about them ever actually coming back, I'm just going to support Gloucester. I said this from the outset. I'm fed up of not having a team, and I always liked Gloucester, and they were actually the last club that I saw play against London Irish, and it was a very long train journey home with my mate and his mates, who were all Gloucester fans. So it's back when I was living in Plymouth, so that would be really cool to go and watch a match next week. And yeah, I'm down to Plymouth on the 12th, and I'll be coming back up here on the 14th. That'll do for today. It's pretty nice out here. Yeah, I've got myself some lunch, got myself a baguette from the baker's, so I'll park my bum somewhere and push it into my pie hole. So if you're struggling, you must reach out. Yeah, it's really, really important to remember that you're not on your own. I thought I was. Kept my mouth shut for a long time. Didn't do me any favours whatsoever. Denying I had trauma, and this, that and the other. So the sooner you put your hand up, the better. Because the harsh reality is no help's coming if you don't ask. Okay, enjoy your Sunday. Catch you later. Bye. Still here.